Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. We're certainly glad to have you. And as always, we're thankful for BTC Fiber, who sponsors our program. And also we have some sponsors, Embers Ice Cream, Nickel Row Antiques, and White Wagon Bed and Breakfast in Pikeville. So if you need some ice cream when you're in Pikeville, go by Embers. If you need to see some antiques, want to buy some or even trade some, go by Nickel Row. And also, if you're looking for a place to stay, go by White Wagon Bed and Breakfast. And today we have with us our guests from Hee Haw. Thank y'all for being here. And we have Miss Ida Lee and we have Miss Judy. And and I know we're going to have fun.
And we have my chicken.
And we have the chickens. So let's don't forget the chicken. We might even hear it from time to time.
Don't be squeezing.
Well, first of all, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all being on our show. And now, first of all, let's get things squared away. When is Hee Haw? In July, I know it's the
14th, 15th, and 16th. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
And this is the first time in 2 years you've had the show.
Yes.
So we need to supply that money to y'all, don't we?
Yes.
Build up
The cancer fund.
Cancer fund, because it's low because you haven't had Hee Haw for 2 years.
People came together last year in all the fundraisers and raised quite a bit of money. But Hee Haw is one of their biggest fundraisers. And people are ready for us to come out of quarantine.
Quarantine.
Quarantine?
Quarantine.
Well, I don't.
That's Lulu's. That's Lulu's.
Well, I don't blame them because I was ready to come out of quarantine too. Well, now I guess you'll have most of everybody, the regulars, and got any new folks this year that you know of?
Well, we have a goober this year.
Yeah, we got a goober.
Oh, yeah.
So
We haven't had goober in the past.
Yep.
And he's a perfect fit. He fits
is.
right in with us.
So he's crazy.
Yes, exactly. That's one of the criteria.
Yeah.
Have to be crazy in order to
You
be
can't,
on the
if you're not crazy, you can't be part of Hee Haw.
No, that's part of it. But nope, he'll fit in perfectly, and there's no telling what he'll do. So.
Well, and of course you'll have Landon's band, I assume.
Yes.
Band back, all our normal characters. Darling, Elvis should be there.
Oh, yes. Control Highway.
Control Highway.
A man's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Well, I know this makes, how many years this has been going on now? Do you?
Well, we did our 30th
Yeah.
anniversary. Was that the last year we did or the year before? I can't
The
remember.
year before.
The year before.
So 31.
So this will be the 32nd show, but because of skipping a couple of years.
Yeah, because we
yes.
skipped 2 years. So this
Wow,
should be the
that's pretty
32nd
neat for
show.
something to go on that long.
And it keeps building up. It gets stronger and stronger. We thought at first, when we first started doing it, we thought this is going to eventually die down. We're going to have to come up with something else. But no, we have people that come all 3 nights.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and and that's a good thing. I guess they just enjoy the relaxation for one, and then just the corny jokes and everything else.
They like getting picked on, evidently.
Well, where else can you go to for $10?
Yeah.
And have 2.5 hours of entertainment, live music, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and a good cause.
Yeah.
You know the money's going to your community.
Well, that's another thing that people need. I think they're aware that all the money raised locally goes locally. It doesn't go out of the county.
Correct. It goes to the Sequatchie County Cancer Network, and then they distribute those funds to people that need help with maybe gas money, getting the doctor bill or the doctor appointments, and so they keep it all local, and it's all divvied back out. It's a great cause.
They get monthly. They get help
monthly help
Oh, really?
Yes.
That I didn't realize.
with some of their medicine, just
Whatever
whatever
they
need.
need, they go before the board and with their medical verifications, and then they can get the help that they need.
Well, a lot of people, unless they've been affected by cancer, don't know all that goes into that.
They don't know all the expense involved, and I mean, it's a traumatic time for people.
Well, I know my wife and I used to, when people would go to the hospital, we'd just take them quarters. Say, here, you need for the machines
For
and stuff.
machines, yes.
You know,
Well, people don't think about when you have all those doctor's appointments and you may be going, 2-3 times a week, you've got to eat and you have gas to get there, and I mean there's extra expenses on top of just the medical. So
Right.
that helps them out a lot.
Right, and then when they get home, it's probably not mentioned, but I know it happens. People support them by sending cards or calls or visits, and that way they need that support as well.
The people on the Sequatchie County Network are a great bunch of people. I mean, they work really hard. They work year-round to come up with ideas to raise money, and they're just a great bunch of people.
They are.
And I guess one of your main people on the Cancer Network is at the nursing home right now, recovering from her injuries.
From a wreck.
Yeah,
and car wreck.
She was very fortunate that she didn't get hurt worse.
That's exactly right.
And so we'll be keeping her in our thoughts. That's Miss Santa Fe Hurd, for those of you that might not know. And I said that right, Santa Fe Hurd? Yeah.
Miss Santa Fe, most everybody knows her.
Or we can just call her Patsy.
Yeah, Patsy Cline.
Yeah, and she'll be missed from the show this year too. She usually sings, doesn't she?
Yeah, she usually does Patsy Cline every year. She's a crowd favorite.
Yeah, and one thing about the Hee Haw that I really like is the showing of the local talent. Yeah. There's so much talent here in this county.
There is.
And we have people of all ages, from young to upwards to adults that can really sing.
And we've watched a lot of them grow up on the stage. I mean, we had some that were, little when they started, and now they're teenagers and in their 20s. So it's fun to watch them mature into adults and keep it going.
There's a lot of other people that would like to be in Hee Haw, but we have a 2-hour limit, and so you have to. It's sort of hard to get the show together within that time limit, but most people don't complain when we go over.
No.
We just see a lot more fanning out there.
I just know that a lot of them kind of start shrinking when y'all come out in the audience to pick people. A lot of them start shrinking to hide.
They go to the bathroom or wherever.
They slide down in those chairs while we're trying to. It's like, we can still see you.
We're relentless, though. We're going to find you, so don't even try to hide.
And actually sliding down makes us go try to get you even worse. So.
We notice you more.
Yeah.
Just raise your hand and say, "Here I am, Ali, come get me."
Well, and you will, I know.
And I will. Julie will too.
So will Layne.
Yeah, and what makes it fun is the whole idea of the jokes you tell, the things you do, and it's really a lot of fun.
It is.
And it's clean fun. It's not all this trash talk and stuff.
No, you can bring your family or kids and don't have to worry about hearing something they shouldn't, you know. And we have so much fun behind the scenes too that people don't even get to see. We talk about all the time just our practices and stuff. We usually are laughing for 2 hours during practice too.
If they could video us when we first get our script,
we'd be in trouble.
It would be hilarious. Because I mean, it's just it's crazy. And the one year we did the tight fitting jeans, if they could have seen us all back there trying to get Lulu's fat suit in them jeans.
To stuff her into them jeans.
We'd stuff one part in and it'd pop out somewhere else.
I was traumatized for weeks.
We only have a few more minutes. We got to get on stage, Lulu. We got to get you in these jeans. It was about 4 of us, wasn't it?
Back there trying to stuff her in.
Do y'all, like when this year's show will be over, do you start on next year's show like trying to write it up, or do you?
Usually Marlene, throughout the year, she finds jokes or she sees something and stuff, and she works on that script off and on throughout the year. But now we usually don't see it until about 6 weeks before Hee Haw. We'll start practicing, and Miss Marlene's so organized and she works so hard on everything around here.
She does.
And she'll hand it to us, and so while we're trying to go through the script that night, we can't quit laughing because usually it's the first time we've heard the jokes.
And she's got every script that Corlou Cookston gave all her stuff to Marlene when she got too sick to do it. So Marlene has all the script.
What was it? She had them the other night back to the 90s?
Yeah.
Somewhere in the 90s.
Wow.
She
had them. And because somebody will come up with a joke and she'll say, "No, we've done that too close. We can't do that again." But she works on it and she'll edit it. And used to, we would start practicing like in February.
Oh, really?
And then, but we've all been in it so long that it just sort of comes together. I mean, we feed off each other. And audience, we feed off you. If you're not in a good mood, we're not going to do as well. So when you come to Hee Haw, you better be ready to party.
You want to see us act more silly, then you got to get into
with
it.
Well, that usually happens.
Yes.
And well, and the thing of it is, each night the auditorium. You're going to be at the high school this year, right? You're going to get back at the high
7
school.
7 p.m. Sequatchie County High School auditorium, just like normal.
And it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Thursday, Friday,
Thursday,
Saturday.
Friday, Saturday. That's right, Thursday. And it's always packed. It's never. I've never seen an empty chair.
And there'll be
I
a
believe.
silent auction again. They're
Uh-huh.
going to do it again.
Be in the commons.
Jen over here at the local depot is
In
taking
charge.
charge of that one and collecting
okay.
donations.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to donate something, contact Jen over here at the local depot. They're taking those right now. So you need to come a little bit early if you want to walk around and see everything
Yeah.
and bid on items.
So
So for
where all of the tickets on sale? Citizens Tri-County Bank,
Mountain Valley, the
local
Buffont,
depot, the Buffont.
local DuPont, Dunlap Mercantile, I think has, or did they have them?
I'm not sure about Dunlap Mercantile.
I know local depot has them, but so they're all around town already for pre-sale. If you want to make sure you're going to get a ticket and don't want to wait in line at the door.
Yeah.
But
And there's reserved seats for $20.
yes, you need to contact Marlene Basham.
Okay.
She'll handle those if you want a reserve seat.
And those are all down in front,
Usually
Yes.
the first couple of rows.
so they can get all the spit and everything from y'all.
Absolutely.
No, one of the good things too I like about Hee Haw is the way you interact with the crowd. You know, that's always a lot of fun. I think they enjoy that too,
We love our crowd.
and I think the crowd's looking forward to it as well because it's been 2-year absence.
Yeah, and that's one of our favorite parts is when we go out there in the audience and dance with them during a band song
with
or
our
something.
people.
It's getting harder to get people to get out of them seats, but if you don't get up, we're coming to you.
Well, they could be like me; they're getting wider and they can't get out of the seats.
We can get them out. You get out or you get set on.
You get set on. You don't want Lulu sit on you. No, because she gets stuck usually. So she may be a while.
Well, and how did you may not know this since it's been so long, but how did this the idea of Hee Haw come about?
Poor Lou Cookston came up with that idea.
Didn't y'all
And
start out as
they-
like Sha-Na-Na or something?
they started out as Sha-Na-Na and Mama's Family. And then she decided, she came up with the idea of Hee Haw. And it's
And
grown
that ever
from-
since.
Wow, that's really
But
neat.
like she said, they'll invent, what are we going to do when they get tired of Hee Haw? And she said, we'll think of something else. But they
So
haven't
far
gotten
they-
tired
They're
of
not
it.
tired of it.
Well, and I've also noticed over the time that there's been people from outside the county come and getting more publicity actually from the Chattanooga area and stuff.
We get
We
people, Georgia, Alabama. They come from, we have, one group that comes about every year now from way down in Alabama that'll bring
Alabama.
20 people or more.
And there's a is that the Red Hat Club?
Yeah.
There's a Red Hat Club
Yeah.
that comes. And then Miss Reba is from Ringo, I think, and she's bringing 11 people
Yeah.
with her. She called and asked for me to do something specific on stage, and I told her I would. But y'all have to remember, we're all getting older. It's a little harder for us to get around. But we'll give it our best shot.
We decided the tape twos are going to get more and more in between. We're having trouble remembering.
We can't
now.
remember our jokes. We can't move as fast.
So yes, when y'all see Adelaide turn around and look at me, it's usually because she's like, "What am I supposed to do, Julie?
What am I supposed to say? I don't know.
Oh well.
That's part of it.
It is.
Well, most everybody can identify with that as well. And I'm sure y'all have enjoyed it. How long have you been in with it since the start, both of you? Or?
I've been in it since it started as Hee Haw. And then Julie, you've been
We
in
were
it.
trying to figure it out the other day. I'm either on my 18th or 19th year because it was either like 2003, 2004.
She's
somewhere
done
in there.
different roles in it. She was Lulu one year.
I was
and
Lulu
her mother
for a
made her
couple
a
of
fat
years.
suit, so.
That was bad.
No,
I was
it
something
was
else
all
before
good.
that for a couple of years. I don't even remember.
Southern Belle.
Yeah,
Southern Belle.
and then Lulu, and then I ended up on Julie for the rest of the time. But
Yeah.
And I started out as Dana. I called her Dumb Dana because all she did was shake her head. And then one year we had a lot of people that didn't come back, and Cora called me and said, "Will you please come back?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "What?" I said, "What role do you want me to be?" She said, "You can be anything you want to." And I said, "I want Ida Lee. She's crazy. That's who I want to be." So I've been Ida Lee ever since.
Very fitting.
Yeah, you fit the part.
Just like
Well, other than Ida Lee's about this big around.
well, that was her younger days.
I'm a
We didn't
midlife
see her as she
crisis,
got
Ida
older.
Lee.
Midlife crisis, Ida Lee.
Well, there's a lot of people in that audience probably can go along with that too.
Hey, I was just telling you the other day, I don't know what I'm going to happen. I'm getting further and further from being able to button these overalls.
Put you some
I'm going to
Velcro.
give me some rubber bands.
Yeah, it's hard to let those out much.
Can't let them out too much.
Well, any comments y'all like to make before we end this? Anything that's coming up that you want to?
We'll be in the 4th.
On the
We're going to be
parade.
riding at the parade, so we'll see a bunch of people
We're
there.
supposed to, they had it planned for a wrestling match at Harris Park on August the 20th at 2 o'clock. The cast will be there. Some of us will actually wrestle.
We gonna wrestle.
We're going to wrestle. They said you can do skits, and I said, we ain't going to do skits, we're going to wrestle. So, but that's, other than,
Yeah.
I would just like to thank everybody that comes out and supports this great cause. We've had people come through town and see advertisements. Like one year, some people from Ohio, I think, they go to Florida and they come through Dunlap every year, and they were at the Dunlap restaurant, staying at the motel, and they saw the ad, and they asked one of the waitresses what it was, and she explained it to them, and they came. And so they have been back every year until we had COVID. They planned their vacation around it to come
Well,
back to see Hee Haw, because they said, we thought, well, it's a good cause. They never dreamed what it, they told us later, we never dreamed what it was.
And I'd
We
also
never
like
dreamed
to
it'd be the talent.
thank all our volunteers. You see us on stage and Landon in the band, but there is a whole crew behind the scenes that
Works harder
that works
than we
hard
do.
to make all those auctions happen and run the doors and keep us supplied back there with water and
Right.
just all this stuff people don't see. So there are many volunteers that
The
are part of this
lights,
besides us.
the sound
The sounds
system.
and Landon and the band worked so hard. I mean, they learned so many songs and
Yes.
have to practice for so long, you know.
Yes.
So they give up a lot of their time to do this show
Right,
too.
and they're busy. And I know I've been involved in some of the, not Hee Haw, but other productions, and I know there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
There he is.
The Sequatchie County Network is a fantastic group of hard-working people.
They are, and they work year round.
Yeah.
Not just during.
Not
they work
just
really
in-
hard during Hee
They
Haw,
work
but they
all
work
year
year
long.
round for this cause. So.
Well, is there someone they could get in touch with if they wanted to be involved as far as the Cancer Network?
Marlene, Anna Faye Hurd, Ginger Maxwell,
Charlotte, she's on there, isn't she?
I don't think Charlotte is. I was trying to think.
Oh, she's on the Valley Fest. I forgot.
Everybody knows Marlene and
Yeah.
Anna Faye.
Marlene, Anna Faye, get a hold of them if you'd like to volunteer or help, or like I said, local depot if you want to do donations.
Oh, yeah, Gina helps out a lot
so
at
much.
Local Depot.
I mean, she takes on all the social media stuff and the silent auctions and getting the businesses together.
Last year
to
she
support.
organized everything to do
We
with
can't
Hee Haw
thank her
Week.
enough.
Well, I know she's a worker. I know
Yeah,
that.
she is.
She works hard.
Well, that's great.
But without the community coming and buying the tickets and coming to the show, you know, we wouldn't raise the money either.
There
and
may be
supporting
some
the businesses.
tickets on sale at Game Shack. I should have asked. I went by there today, but I forgot to ask.
And you didn't bring us a coffee.
I drank it before I came in.
I brought you a chicken and I didn't get a coffee. Now, see, that was harder than her other one, so I
Yeah.
probably messed up because she does like to hit us with it during the show.
Well, it's certainly glad to have y'all today, and I appreciate y'all being with us, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all on Hee Haw. I think it's going to be great, and as always, the community's manufacturer will probably sell out every night, and I'm sure there'll be probably people wanting to get in that may not can get in because fire codes, I guess.
That's actually why we went to the Thursday night show about 8 years ago, because we
Because
were
we-
selling out Friday and Saturday, so we tried to alleviate some of them
We
were
went to
Thursday.
3 days. Years ago, it was packed. We did it Friday and Saturday, and it was packed, and they had to turn people away. So we did it again 2 weeks later, and had the same problem.
Yeah.
So we started doing it 3 nights a week.
Okay. Well, that's great. I mean, that's
That's a good problem to
It's a
have.
good
It's
problem
that
to
you
have.
hate to have to turn somebody
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Especially
yeah.
those that are driving so far from out of town. That
Yeah.
was a lot of heartburn too. People coming from far away.
Well, I know one year we were out of town and we got back in, and one of my daughters and we went, and they said, we're sorry, and so we just donated their money anyway. But
Appreciate
I know the turn away. That's not a good problem. I mean, it's a good problem to have if you have to turn away people because of numbers, because there is a fire code.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, and I'd like to thank Bledsoe Telephone Co-op because
Oh,
they
yes.
run, well, they're not, they go by Bledsoe Telephone.
BTC fiber.
BTC.
Yeah, BTC Fiber, sorry,
Get right, Eileen.
I'm old, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. But they always do our shows, and they film them for us, and they support this community.
Oh, they certainly do. Well, we appreciate y'all being with us today, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, folks, if you want to see the Hee Haw this year, you can go by the local banks, you can go by local depot and get you a ticket. Please do so and do that. And again, thankful for our sponsors, Ember's Ice Cream, excuse me, Nickel Row Antiques, and White Wagon Bed and Breakfast. So until next time, have a great day. All right. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.
Brought to you by Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative, your full-service telecommunications provider right here in the Sequatchie Valley.